Friday, April 24th, Horse Meadow Senior Center in North Haverhill is serving Chef's Choice Carrots Fruit. It's Chef's Choice Carrots and Fruit. And again, all meals include bread, milk, coffee, and juice, along with salad bar, 11:30 to 12:30 in North Haverhill at Horse Meadow Senior Center.
The Orangey Senior Center in the Bradford Community Building is open and serving congregate meals on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. The meal for this Friday, April 24th, will be Dijon pork, mashed potato, Harvard beets, and dessert, and the boys will be playing. For those 60 and over, the suggested donation per meal is $5. For those under 60, the cost per meal is $8, and takeout meals are available as well.
On the menu at the West Barnett Senior Meals site for Friday, April 24th, apricot glazed pork, potato, carrots, salad, homemade roll, and strawberries. Willie Edwards music will be playing at 10:30 a.m. In-house dining starts at 11:30 a.m. Takeout orders are required by calling 603-638-4002.
And good morning. We're 7 minutes after 6, and beautiful morning, actually. Hardly any wind compared to what we saw the last couple of days. Clear skies and sitting at 28, but heading for possibly the low 50s today with some sunshine. Good morning, Stephen John Puffer. Friends, right up until 9 o'clock this morning. Glad to have you along here with us. And we have a lot of great information we'll be passing along between now and 9 o'clock. The weather is being brought to you by Manchester Brook Materials, where they offer crushed stone and ledge products. We will rock you at Manchester Brook Materials. They're in East Reigate and also at 596 Crossroad in Waterford. And to start lining up your projects, all you have to do is call Darcy at 802-633-4122.
Is part of your property too tough to mow? Or do you need a new driveway or must fix your old one? Ask Manchester Brook Materials for a quote today. Plus for topsoil, erosion stone, riprap, and stay mat. Plus crushed stone products from 3/4 inch plant mix up to 5 inches. Manchester Brook Materials will deliver or load it for you. 6:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. weekdays, 7 a.m. to 12 noon Saturdays, or by appointment. We will rock you with competitive pricing and estimates. Call 802-633-4122.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny with highs from the upper 40s to mid-50s, north to northwest winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. For tonight, clear to partly cloudy, lows from the mid-20s to around 30, north winds 5 to 10 and diminishing. Saturday, mostly to partly sunny, highs in the mid to upper 50s, southeast winds around 5 miles an hour. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
At 9 minutes after 6, we're in the mid to upper 20s, heading for the upper 40s and low 50s. The latest weather, a service of Manchester Brook Materials. Be sure to call Darcy at 802-633-4122. Lining up your projects, as Manchester Brook Materials has 2 convenient locations at 596 Crossroad, Waterford, Route 5 North, East Reigate, 802-633-4122.
Red Sox wasted a terrific pitching performance last night at Fenway. Yankees 4, Red Sox 2, making his first start. Peyton Tolley, 11 strikeouts in 5 innings. Alex Cora.
He was impressive. He was under control. The moment wasn't too big for him, right? Polished pitcher. Yeah, he's getting there. When he showed emotion, kind of like now he shows emotion, he apologizes, and then he goes inside and he resets. Delivery was clean. The stuff was really good against a good hitting team. Like I said before, very impressive.
Alex Cora. Young Tolley is known for his on-the-field humor and mound domination.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's especially being part of the Red Sox, you know, you want to beat the Yankees all the time. So having a night like this is fun, but as you can tell, this locker room wants more than just a good pitching performance. So, happy with how it went, but at the end of the day, we want to win. And
Red Sox pitcher Peyton Tolley. Yankees 4, Red Sox 2.
Hi, it's Chelsea from Wise, and this is our 10th year producing Wise Words. Today, Emma, a sophomore from Hartford High School, is sharing Wise Words.
Relationships and sexual violence is a topic that many of us don't want to think or talk about. It makes us uncomfortable, and rightfully so. But if we don't talk about it, we can't stop it, and it doesn't make it easy for the survivors. When people can't talk about their experiences, they feel alone and can't get the support they need. Often, when we know someone has been hurt, we want to help, but we aren't sure what to do. We may be afraid we'll say or do the wrong thing and make it worse. There are simple things we can do to show our support. We can listen without judging, we can believe them, we can tell them they didn't deserve it and it wasn't their fault. We can ask them how we can help. What are some ways you can show your support?
These wise words are supported by the Hypertherm Hope Foundation, a proud sponsor of WISE and our goal to end violence, share hope, and change lives.
We are very excited to have with us on the phone Jeff Folb, who is the owner and general manager of Vermont Gatherings. Jeff, how you doing?
Good.
I've been a huge fan of your expos and your conventions that you've been able to do all across Vermont. And being able to talk a little bit about your newest one that's coming up is the Vermont Sci-Fi Fantasy and Horror Expo. Is that correct?
Yep. So this will actually be the seventh year of the expo. It started out as a Vermont Sci-Fi and Fantasy, and a couple of years ago we added horror. We've kind of since officially, unofficially added paranormal and pop culture, and it really is kind of our local Comic-Con without calling it a Comic-Con. So it is open to all those different genres and almost any medium you can think of within them.
For someone who's never been, what is the Vermont Sci-Fi Fantasy and Horror Expo?
So it's a con, an expo, a show featuring all kinds of guests. So this year we happen to have Bruce Boxleitner and Claudia Christian from Babylon 5. Bruce was also in Tron and a bunch of other movies and TV shows. If anybody goes back and remembers Scarecrow and Mrs. King, we've got Brett Wagner, who plays Leatherface in the newest oh boy, I'm not a great horror fan, but he plays Leatherface. We've got Adam Berry from Ghost Hunters and Kindred Spirits. We've got over 150 authors and artists, comic creators, game designers, all kinds of cosplayers. We're going to have the 802 Ghostbusters there, the Vermont Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 501st, Mandalorians, all kinds of superheroes, crafters, artists, vendors, gaming, panels. I mean, it's kind of everything that you think of within those genres for a weekend of family fun.
The years that I go, Jeff, is that you can't squeeze everything into one day. This is something that you should be able to, because it's all weekend long.
You could certainly get through the show in a day, but if you really want to go and experience it, meaning you want to meet the guests, get autographs, go to panels, do some gaming, yeah, you could certainly very easily stretch that out into 2 days. And we get a good mix of people doing both, either showing up one day or the other or coming for both days.
And so what's the vendor hall like you mentioned? What kind of things are people going to find and bring home?
So we actually have 3 attached buildings.
Wow.
At the expo. We've got about 80,000 square feet. So Expo North is most of our guests, and it's kind of a little more horror-focused and paranormal-focused than Expo South. But you've still got tons of artists, authors, vendors, crafters. It's people making fangs and jewelry and costuming and anything you think of art-wise, whether it's pictures on the wall or sculpture, that type of thing. Expo South, which will have the whole Star Wars section, which is not only the 501st, the cosplayers, and the Mandalorian, the Mercs, but you've got a Sabak Cantina, if you want to play the Sabak card game from Star Wars, lightsaber vendors and armor vendors and props. You've got a whole big author and artist alley with 30 or 40 different local and New England-based authors, sci-fi, military sci-fi, fantasy, paranormal. You've got the Vermont Turtles will be there. We've got a professional photography studio set up with scheduled sessions with all the guests, as well as you can go in your costumes and get pictures taken. And then we've got a whole third building with panel rooms, food and beverage, and gaming. So there'll be scheduled games and pick-up and demo games, whether it's role-playing or magic or board games, and those will go on all day, both days. And we have, I think it's 10 or 12 panels and workshops a day, whether it's paranormal, a mini Babylon 5 reunion with Bruce and Claudia, how to create a comic book, how to create a character, how to get published. Just a lot of real good hands-on instruction.
And so what would you say, too, because the years I go, there's tons of kids around, so don't let the word horror or sci-fi scare away parents. I mean, there's plenty of things for kids to do there as well, right?
Oh, all of our shows, and particularly this one, let's say the Renaissance Fair, are family-friendly and family-focused shows. So, yes, while somebody like Brett Wagner is, known as Leatherface, and, if you want to picture with him in his costume and everything, is a little bit more for adults. But the overall feel and look of all the buildings is family-friendly. I mean, there's definitely a line there between, what's family-friendly and what would be adult-only, and we don't cross that line. Alongside with that, costuming, whether it's cosplay or something else, we always encourage people to come in costume, but it's not required. Probably 40 or so % of the participants and the patrons will be in some form of costume. And obviously, if you don't have one, you can certainly pick one up there. We will also be giving away all day, both days on the floor, awards and prizes for costumes. So, put it on, come on out, show what you've made. You might go home with a prize and an award.
So, Jeff, as you said, you've been doing this for 7 years now with the Vermont Sci-Fi and Fantasy and now Horror Expo. To paint a picture for us, was there a moment where you were just like, oh, this is amazing, I can't believe this is happening here?
Yes and no. Probably I'll call it at the beginning and the end. Not that it's over, but 10 years ago we ran the first Vermont Renaissance Fair, and based on what everyone was telling us, it was up in Stowe and the state and the town and all our friends, it was, you're going to get 1,500 people, it's going to be a great show, you're going to grow, and this, that, the other thing. And we had 4,200 people that first year. So I think kind of right away we knew that we were starting to fill, at that point, one niche, but ultimately multiple niches that nobody else was doing in the state. And then over the last few months, as we kind of are starting to put together what's going to be the 10th annual Vermont Renaissance Fair in June, realized that we've produced almost 50 shows now as we hit the 9th annual Winter Fair, the 7th annual Sci-Fi Fantasy Horror, and are probably adding 2 new shows next year, which will give us somewhere between 8 and 10 shows for the year. I think we really realized that it was something that Vermont wanted and needed, that we were very proud to be supporting probably upwards of over 800 other small businesses each year, whether it's our crafters or our performers or vendors, and that we were putting, smiles on people's faces, particularly families. Living in Vermont years ago and then moving back, while there's always something going on, it always felt to me, especially in the last couple of years, that they tended to either be focused on kids or on adults, and that there wasn't as many family shows or family events going on. And with most of our shows, particularly Sci-Fi Fantasy Horror and the Renaissance Fair, you can bring the grandparents and the grandkids and everyone in between, and everyone's going to have a great time. They might not focus on the same thing, but they're all going to have fun and enjoy it, and there's something for everyone. So, it's not the parents being bored while the kids are entertained, or the kids being bored, vice versa. It's an event, it's a show, it's an experience for everyone.
All right, we're talking to Jeff Folb, who is the owner and general manager of Vermont Gatherings. Jeff, give us the details again on the dates, location for the Vermont Sci-Fi and Fantasy Horror Expo.
This upcoming show is Saturday and Sunday, the 25th and 26th, at the Champlain Valley Exposition, the Champlain Valley Fairgrounds in Essex Junction. It will cover about 80,000 square feet, 3 connected buildings. Tickets are available online now at vtgatherings.com. Also passes to the professional photo sessions with some of our guests. Tickets are also available at the gate or at the door both days. Parking is free. Kids under 6 are free. Costumes are welcome as long as they're tasteful, but not required. And you can find more information on Facebook or on our website. And this will be the 7th annual Vermont Sci-Fi, Fantasy, and Horror Expo. And we hope everyone comes out and has a good time.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jeff. And I look forward to checking it out again this year.
We look forward to seeing you there.
And good morning. We're 25 minutes after 6. We'll take a break and take a look at the weather forecast for the listening area again. And a reminder coming up shortly after 7:30, right after we check the birthdays and anniversaries for today, we'll be chatting live with the Fairbanks Museum. Mark Breen, our meteorologist at that time. With temperatures in the mid and upper 20s, this weather's being brought to you by your friends at Wells River Chevrolet, which is part of the Autosaver Group. And that's a really big deal, as in the Autosaver Group's Big Deal Plus that comes at no charge with a purchase or lease of every new or used vehicle at Wells River Chevrolet. Good news from the Autosaver Group's Wells River Chevrolet. Right now you can get total savings up to $7,500 in the new Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Double Cab LT 4x4. Wells River Chevy, home of the big deal. Hurry in or shop online anytime at wellsriverchevy.com. Together, let's drive. Stock number WT26099. Must own a 2012 or newer or be leasing a 2021 or newer Chevy car, truck, or SUV to qualify. Subject to change. Not available with all offers through April 30th. 2026.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny with highs from the upper 40s to mid-50s, north to northwest winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. For tonight, clear to partly cloudy, lows from the mid-20s to around 30, north winds 5 to 10 and diminishing. Saturday, mostly to partly sunny, highs in the mid to upper 50s, southeast winds around 5 miles an hour. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
And for Wells River Chevrolet, updating you on the weather for the listening area. That includes the upper Connecticut River Valley. Stop by Wells River Chevrolet and check it out. Same great people, same great experience, and now the Big Deal Plus. They're on the web at wellsriverchevy.com. Wells River Chevrolet. Next weather coming up in less than 10 minutes. This is Scotty McCreery. Now is the time to start planning for the Vermont and New Hampshire spring turkey hunting season. Gateway Sports in Wells River has an excellent inventory of new and used turkey guns and shotguns. Gateway Sports also has an excellent selection of ammo and accessories to help make your spring turkey hunt a success. Gateway Sports has expert advice to go with your purchase. Stop in soon to shop the selection of unusual military, lever, and single action and classic firearms. Buy local at Gateway Sports, Wells River. Hey, good morning. We're at 6:34. Clear blue, sunny skies. We're in the mid and upper 20s, heading for the upper 40s, low 50s. Compliments of your friends in St. Johnsbury, CDJR. Let's take a look and check out the latest weather forecast for all of Northeast Vermont and Northwest New Hampshire.
So where's the big deal? Holy schmoly, it's Matt LeCire from the Autosaver Group, St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Right now is the time to drive the all-new 2026 Ram 1500 Crew Cab. Get 0% financing for 60 months or take advantage of 2.9% for 72 months on all Ram Crew Cabs, excluding RHO. And here's the kicker. Every new Ram comes backed by the industry's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Looking to lease? We've got you covered. If you have a current Stellantis lease, you can drive a brand new 2026 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab Hemi V8 for just $469 a month for 39 months with zero down. St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, just past the railroad tracks in St. Johnsbury, Vermont.
Lease based on 10,000 miles per year, 32,500 total miles, 30 cents per mile over. Tax, title, and registration extra. Must have a current Stellantis brand lease and household to qualify. First payment due at signing. Special APRs available for well-qualified buyers. At 0%, every $1,000 is $17 in payment.
Don't wait, these offers end April 30th.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny with highs from the upper 40s to mid-50s, north to northwest winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. For tonight, clear to partly cloudy, lows from the mid-20s to around 30, north winds 5 to 10 and diminishing. Saturday, mostly to partly sunny, highs in the mid to upper 50s, southeast winds around 5 miles an hour. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
And there you go. Compliments of your friends in St. Johnsbury at St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat, a part of the Autosaver Group where every deal comes with a big deal plus, a 2-year unlimited schedule maintenance plan, which includes free state inspections for life. They're online at stjohnsburycdjr.com.
This is why we like to do a
I like it.
pre-reel.
I hear you, man. No.
All right. So we have a very special guest here in the studio. It's Dr. Seth Osgood of Grassroots Functional Medicine in West Lebanon. We're talking today about why so many people feel stuck when it comes to weight loss, even when they're trying to do everything right. Dr. Seth, thanks for joining us.
Oh, I'm really happy to be here, Josh. It's a pleasure.
And so you had a letter to the editor in the Bridge Weekly showcase a couple weeks ago talking about kind of a similar topic.
Yeah. I mean, weight loss is such a big deal in our community. You know, over 74% of Americans are either overweight or obese. And it is, I think, something that a lot of people really just take for granted and don't think about. I mean, obesity is linked to over 200 different disease processes that we know of. And, again, I feel like there are some solutions on that people are utilizing, but they might not be doing it as effectively as they should.
Well, and a lot of people feel like they're eating better and moving more, but still not losing weight. Why does that happen?
Well, I think it's different for everybody, but I think there's a few common denominators. One of the big ones is, of course, our environment. You know, our environment is not the same as it used to be. One of the statistics I like is that since 1960, the average American is 30 pounds heavier than they were. So everybody's carrying around a medium-sized dog, on their body that was never there before. And our genetics are exactly the same. So the question is, what's different? And I think a lot of that boils down to our lifestyle, our nutrition, the toxins in our environment. There's a whole host of different factors that unfortunately just aren't being addressed when people are trying to lose weight. And I think that's where we're seeing a lot of the complications.
So historically speaking, Wells River was famous back in like 100 or so years ago, had a group called the Fat Man Club. In order to join, you had to be at least 200 pounds.
Okay. That's funny. So that was, what were they going for? That was just a club?
That was a club.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They were celebrating.
I love it. So when someone says, like, I'm doing everything right and nothing's working, what's usually missing from the picture?
Well, we hear that a lot, honestly, and it can be very defeating for people because they really are trying hard. But just like with everything in medicine, it's very cookie cutter the way we approach things. People just think, hey, if I just don't eat as much and I move more, I'm going to lose weight. And, sometimes that works for some people. But even that strategy has to be unique for each individual. But there's a lot of other factors that we see in the clinic that we address and we identify through proper testing. And unfortunately, a lot of people aren't getting the testing that they deserve. Thyroid dysfunction, toxins in their environment. Some people have mold, some people have heavy metals. Stress is a huge one, and everybody's running around on fight or flight mode. And we got to think, when your body's in fight or flight, our body is an incredible creation. It's designed when it's in fight or flight to either run or to or to just stay put, in fear. And when we're in fight or flight, our body will store fat over time. If we're constantly in that sympathetic response, our brain says, hey, we need to conserve energy because we're under threat here. We're in danger. So you store fat, as to ideally use it later. But because we're not back in the Paleolithic days where we're, needing to use that energy and everything's abundant around us, it just sits there and accumulates. And that's where we run into trouble.
Now, so is weight loss often less about willpower and more about what's going on with your metabolism?
So I think it involves both. You need to have the willpower to make the difficult changes, because there is no doubt in my mind that you have to commit to lifestyle change. That's how you end up being successful long term. But like I said, you also have to think outside of the box and address some of those other factors, because especially when you hit a plateau, because that's where a lot of people are. They're doing the right things, they see some progress, and then boom, they're stuck, and they feel like they're doing everything, and they just, like I said, get defeated. So we have to think outside of the box and take that whole body approach to weight loss. And it's not about weight, it's about getting healthy.
Right.
And that's another thing that I think is really important for people to consider, is you're not doing this, and you might be doing this for vanity, to look better, and I think that's a great thing. But ultimately, the problems with being obese are all of the complications that we're gonna run into later on down the road.
So you kind of mentioned thyroid issues earlier. So how do hormones, thyroid issues, and insulin affect a person's ability to lose weight?
Oh, every aspect of it. So it's a big question. Well, we'll start with thyroid. Thyroid is a very interesting thing. Thyroid is an organ in the neck, and it plays a big role with metabolism. And a lot of people are running around with low thyroid or subclinical thyroid hypothyroidism, which means their doctor may tell them that their labs are completely normal, but they're not in an optimal range. Unfortunately, with medicine, we have these ranges on our labs where we have a high and low. Typically, they take the median from the population, they go 2 standard deviations in each direction, and that's what we consider high and low. But some people are going to not be optimal in that range. So oftentimes in functional medicine, we really think about optimal as opposed to conventional ranges. And with thyroid, we not only do we narrow down that range, but we look at other markers that are really important for metabolism that typically people are ignoring. Then we've got the hormone piece, and hormones are very complex because there's a lot of hormones, right? So thyroid is a hormone, the cortisol is a hormone, and then we've got all of the sex hormones that play into this as well. And for men and women, for men, we see low testosterone. Again, there's a huge range. If you look at a standard lab panel, I think the range is 300 to 1,000, and which is crazy, right? So if you're at 301, man, you're good. But that is not the case, So we see people optimal around 800 to 1,000. So sometimes by correcting those imbalances, and we do that in multiple ways, sometimes we use hormones, but a lot of times we can do that with lifestyle as well, we'll see weight improve. Same with estrogen and progesterone. Hormone, it's an orchestra of hormone balance, right? That's what we're trying to do, because when you pull on one lever, it's going to affect another. And hormones are very complicated, but they're really awesome when you get it mastered.
And so we're talking to Dr. Seth Osgood of Grassroots Functional Medicine. So you before I hit the record button, you did talk a little bit about peptides. So weight loss medications and peptides are getting a lot of attention right now. What should people know before they consider them?
Well, I am actually a huge fan of peptides, believe it or not. I just think the way they're being implemented is not correct. We know that these things are very, very powerful. A lot of people are familiar with the brand names like Wegovy and and Mounjaro. We use compounded peptides, tirzepatide and semaglutide. For example, as far as the efficacy of these, semaglutide has shown over a year and a half to reduce body weight by about 15%.
Wow.
Yeah. And then tirzepatide, which is kind of one of the newer peptides, which is GLP and GIP agonist, that has shown 20 to 22% reduction in weight. But the caveat to that is about 40% of that weight loss is muscle mass. And muscle is your longevity marker. I mean, that is so important for various things. And because people are getting on these peptides and they're taking way too much, their doses are too high, they're not being educated on nutrition and protein intake, they're not being worked with to develop a comprehensive lifestyle and exercise plan. They're having side effects, gut-related issues, and they are becoming malnourished, believe it or not, because they are just not, their gut is slowing down, they're not eating properly, they're not eating at all, they're dehydrated, and they're losing weight, yes, but they're also losing the muscle mass. The scale does not, all the scale does is tell you your total weight. It doesn't tell you about what you're losing. And that's something that we monitor very specifically to make sure they're keeping up with their muscle mass, which is what keeps everybody metabolically active.
Right. So if someone's listening to this and feels frustrated and wants real answers, where can they go to learn more about what you do and say like your metabolic reset program?
Yeah, so we have developed a program called the Metabolic Reset, and we work with individuals on the whole picture. We're doing comprehensive testing. We're getting we have some really cool tools, body composition analysis. We have a PNOE metabolic assessment that tells us about resting metabolism, and we can specifically create a dietary plan for them based on that. It looks at VO2 max and longevity and all sorts of biomarkers on longevity. So we pair this all together. You're working with a provider, with a nurse practitioner or myself, and you're working with a nutritionist who is sitting there counseling you on nutrition and exercise. And we give lots of resources to be successful because people need that. You know, a shot is not a strategy. People need a lifestyle plan, because when they just do the shot, not only are they setting themselves up for all these different metabolic issues, bone loss, malnutrition, you know, all of these different problems, they're going to run into problems down the road. I guarantee we're going to see issues with osteoporosis, you know, with you know, different, we know that certain medications that interfere with absorption will set up for Alzheimer's and cognitive decline and all sorts of other problems. And we're going to see the same thing with this, I guarantee it, just because people aren't nourishing their body. So it's not that we're against peptides, and we use them. We use them quite often because I think there is a lot of bright side to them. They just have to be used strategically in combination with all of the other lifestyle factors.
All right. So our guest has been Dr. Seth Osgood of Grassroots Functional Medicine out in West Leb. Dr. Seth, if people wanted to learn more about you and Grassroots Functional Medicine, where could they go?
Yeah, so our website is a great place to start, grassrootsfunctionalmedicine.com. You'll see the different programs we have there. You'll see the Metabolic Reset. And we also have what's called the Knowledge Hub. And I love education. So we have the Knowledge Hub links to our YouTube channel, and it's just 10-minute videos on a variety of different topics just to help people be successful with their health and their longevity. There's so much that everybody can do on their own, but if they really want that deep dive and they want us to help them every step of the way, they need the accountability and the resources. That's what that Metabolic Reset program is set up for.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dr. Seth, and looking forward to more conversations.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here.
All right, 6:51, taking a look at the weather in the mid and upper 20s. Plenty of sunshine under blue skies, being brought to you by Chief Crushing and Excavation. Line up your projects by calling Chief. Do it today at 802-584-3868.
Chief Crushing and Excavation has plenty of products that can be delivered to you from one of their many nearby locations. Products available include sand for septic systems, crushed gravel, topsoil, clay fills, stay mat, ledge, and specialty items such as blue ledge and gravel. Chief Crushing and Excavation is fully insured and has Vermont and New Hampshire locations near you, including Wells River Quarry, the South Rygate Pit, Nick's Aggregate and Pike, and Blaisdell Sand and Gravel in North Haverhill. Excavation and full land clearing services are also available. For quarry operation hours, pricing, and directions, call Chief Crushing and Excavation at 802-584-3868.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny with highs from the upper 40s to mid-50s, north to northwest winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. For tonight, clear to partly cloudy, lows from the mid-20s to around 30, north winds 5 to 10 and diminishing. Saturday, mostly to partly sunny, highs in the mid to upper 50s, southeast winds around 5 miles an hour. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
And also for Chief Crushing and Excavation, be sure to call Chief. Do it today, 802-584-3868. Doesn't matter if you have large or medium or small projects, Chief can help you. All right, we're 6:56, and we're still hanging around the mid-20s, but it's going to be warming up with some sunshine today. Let's take a break and look at the weather again. It's being brought to you by Farmway in Bradford, where it's sandal season, which is finally here. Stop in for the Birkenstocks and, of course, the Tebas and Reeve Crocs and a whole lot more at Farmway right there in Bradford. In Bradford, Farmway invites you to shop their in-stock Lazy Boy furniture. Farmway has plenty of styles and colors to choose from, something to fit everybody, including pet-friendly fabrics. Check the prices. You won't be disappointed. Shop in a friendly, no-pressure atmosphere. And if you don't see it, Farmway can order it. Delivery and removal is available. Just ask about the rates. At Farmway, they take immense pride in offering a wide selection of top-quality brands in footwear, clothing, camping, and hunting gear, furniture, and gifts. Shop locally in Bradford at Farmway.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny with highs from the upper 40s to mid-50s, north to northwest winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. For tonight, clear to partly cloudy, lows from the mid-20s to around 30, north winds 5 to 10 and diminishing. Saturday, mostly to partly sunny, highs in the mid to upper 50s, southeast winds around 5 miles an hour. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
And for Farmway, right there in Bradford, we're at sandal season. Be sure to stop by and pick out your favorite pair of sandals. Do it today at Farmway in Bradford. It is 4 minutes after 7. Clear blue sunny skies. Hardly even a breeze compared to what we saw the last couple of days, especially yesterday. Boy, the wind was really picking up in the afternoon. Into the low 30s already, heading for the upper 40s, maybe into the low 50s today. We'll keep you updated. Compliments of our many sponsors and our meteorologists at the Fairbanks Museum. This weather's being brought to you by Crosstown, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Littleton, home of the big deal.
Hi, it's Kevin again from Crosstown Motors. As the days get longer and the weather gets warmer, the deals are heating up here in Littleton. It's the Declaration of Deals sales event. Your chance to drive home the all-new 2026 models from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Check out the reimagined new 2026 Jeep Cherokee Turbo Hybrid Power with 37 miles per gallon and over 500 miles of range. The trail-rated Jeep Wrangler in 2-door or 4-door, built for every adventure. The family-ready Chrysler Pacifica, the rugged Jeep Compass and Gladiator, and the bold new 2026 Dodge Durango with massive space and muscle. Don't miss out the electric Dodge Charger Daytona Pure Electrified Thrill or the Charger Scat Pack with the Hurricane 3.0-liter twin turbo punch. And for Ram fans, the Ram 1500 and heavy-duty Ram trucks are here with the 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Built to last, built to haul. New inventory is moving fast at Crosstown Motors. Come in today, beat the heat with the hottest deals of the summer, and drive away happy. Crosstown Motors, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right here in Littleton, New Hampshire.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny with highs from the upper 40s to mid-50s, north to northwest winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. For tonight, clear to partly cloudy, lows from the mid-20s to around 30, north winds 5 to 10 and diminishing. Saturday, mostly to partly sunny, highs in the mid to upper 50s, southeast winds around 5 miles an hour. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
All right, Lawrence, thanks a lot. We're 6 minutes after 7, clear blue sunny skies and into the low 30s, heading for maybe into the low 50s today. Updated weather is brought to you by Crosstown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Littleton, home of the big deal. Glad that you could join us this morning. Stephen John Puffer here. We take you right up until 9 o'clock this morning. A lot of great conversation between now and then. And, of course, a conversation with Mark Breen, meteorologist, shortly after 7:30 this morning, brought to you by Hatchland Farm, Wicked Good Dairy Delights, and Profile Meats right there on Route 10 in North Haverhill.
Bruins in trouble. Buffalo won playoff game 3 at the Garden 3-1. Sabres lead the series 2-1. Post-game from Bruin coach Marco Sturm. Overall team play. Disappointing. Where was it?
I got to say, they were just a little bit better than us. I thought we were a little tight today for some reason. Maybe just coming home, first time at home. So, they capitalized on, especially in the third period there, on all of a sudden it's our net and we were chasing the game.
Bruin coach Marco Sturm. Pretty quiet Bruins post-game locker room. Playoff loss at home is never good. Mark Kastelik.
I thought we did a good job. I think on the bench, everybody was positive. Everybody was just keeping their heads up no matter what was happening. And I think we did that right till basically the last minute or so and not get frustrated. It's easy to get down when you lose a game and stay level-headed and just turn the page now.
Bruin forward Mark Kastelik. Game 4 at the Garden Sunday.
Once again, we're excited to welcome into the studio Steve Batchelder and Tonya Palmer from Batchelder Carpentry.
Hey, hello. How's it going?
Good. Every month you guys come in and give us some really good wisdom on everything to do with carpentry and house repair and remodeling. And I know now it is green grass outside.
It is.
Yes.
Well, there was snow in a couple spots yesterday.
Yeah.
Muffin. Sure.
That's true. Yep. And yeah, don't worry about it. It'll just melt really quick.
Yeah.
So springtime. So what are some things that people should be looking out for now that they can actually walk around their house and not be in like 2 feet of snow?
Yeah. Some of the common things to look for as a homeowner is, if you got skirting, or lattice work around decks or under additions. The snow and ice can push them in, damage them, break pieces. If there's any vents within that skirting or even basement windows is another good place to check because they're down low under the eaves usually and they get smashed. And is also, if you got vents, is just making sure the vents are cleaned out. Critters can plug them up with insulation and grass and cobwebs. And, and if that doesn't vent properly, it can cause lots of moisture problems.
And so when you're mentioning vents, are you talking about not the ceiling, not the roof vents? You're talking about the vents that are like on the bottom of the home?
Around the bottom of the home, yeah. A lot of times, like if you're skirting or even basement windows sometimes can be used as a vent, so to speak, or they have vents built into them. Those can also get clogged up as well.
Yeah. And also too, Tonya, talk a little bit more about those basement windows.
If you need ventilation in your basement, if there isn't decent ventilation, you can have a lot of moisture build up. And that could cause problems to your foundation, to your framing of your house over time. And it's always good to have some movement of air.
Right.
And now is the good time to make sure that's all good for the summer.
Right, especially now because during the wintertime, the house is dry because of the fact that it was because of the snow in the winter. But now with everything melting and it's wet outside, that's when it's really important to look out for to see if that you have good airflow.
There's moisture everywhere in the spring.
Talk to us a little bit about too. Is that you mentioned before I hit the record button, Tonya, fascias. What should the people be looking out for their fascias?
If could be a crack, it could be, looking a little greenish.
Greenish.
Greenish, yeah. The mold
it
and
could be
mildew.
a issue of ice buildup throughout the winter, and it could eventually cause a bigger issue.
Okay.
And there's ventilation in that instance too.
Right. And for our listeners out there, remind people what a fascia is on the home.
So a fascia is usually the piece of trim or vinyl right at the very edge of the eaves, that nice band that you can see right under the eaves part.
Yeah.
And that's usually where the ice and the icicles build up if the drip edge wasn't brought out properly by your roofer and friends. And then it can just cause problems, and eventually it can back up into your attic and ruin your attic insulation or into your walls and your ceiling in your kitchen.
And usually the fascias, that's usually where your gutters are connected.
Correct.
To.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. And also too is like, what are some other things that you would recommend for homeowners to look out for on their homes that they can kind of maintain and fix, and what things would they actually have to reach out and talk to Batchelder Carpentry about?
I think a couple of important things is like if you have vinyl siding or some sort of composite siding, is just keeping it clean. Because if you don't, it'll keep build up, and then eventually it'll back up into the seams of the siding and get under and then could start getting into your sheathing and stuff like that. I mean, that takes a few years for that to happen, but if you clean your house probably once a year. And then the other thing is painting. Like if you have wood siding or even a composite or a cementitious siding material, just keeping it coated with paint is a really important thing, because if you don't, it's going to start rotting a lot faster.
And is there anything, Tonya, that people should be looking out for on their homes from the north-facing part of their homes, as referred to like their south-facing part of their homes?
If one side of your house gets more sunlight or one side doesn't, that can have a big moisture problem, can create mold. And, there's no air getting to some spaces.
It can cause like wood surfaces, like if they're not sealed well,
right?
Board and batten siding or T111 especially, on those sides where the moisture is building up, it can make it rot like 10 times faster than the rest of the building, for sure. Yeah.
And I know is that, so one thing that I've noticed in my home is like, I know during the winter, I'm shoveling off my deck and my snow shovel just gets clipped on all these nails sticking out. So is that something to do with springtime? Is that these are kind of like part of the maintenance people should be doing in their homes, is to like fix something with that?
Yeah, maintenance on decks. You got composite decking, you got old wood decking, there's tongue and groove decking. One thing to realize is all of that stuff moves and expands and contracts with heat, warm and cold conditions. And over time, sometimes the fasteners will back out if like your house has been there for a hot minute. So, that's been years and years of lack of maintenance, really.
You're in trouble.
So
I'm getting called out here on there.
Or it just wasn't the proper fasteners when they were installed.
Right.
They got ring shank nails and screws that do a better job at some of that than some of the older homes that have just straight nails. So,
right.
Those are some of some of the good things to look out for.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're out shoveling your deck, whether you got composite decking or you got wood decking, if you're catching nails when you're shoveling, that's probably a good indicator that the nails are starting to rust off and the decking material's not fastened to the framing properly, or the framing's rotted out and starting to give way and the nails are starting to pull up. Yep.
So we're talking to our good friend Steve Batchelder and Tonya Palmer of Batchelder Carpentry. And if people, looking at scheduling out too, folks that have projects that they want to reach out and trying to get a quote from, they can reach out to you guys?
Yeah, reach out to us at vtcarpenter.com or give us a call at 802-793-3071. And reach out early. It's never too early to plan.
That's right.
I can't stress that enough. Just reach out early, the better. We'll get to planning.
Yeah, it's tax season, so people are getting they should have gotten their taxes in now, and they'll be
hopefully
they'll know if they'll know if they owe Uncle Sam or if Uncle Sam owes them now. So then they start planning out these good summer projects.
That's right.
Yeah. How far out are you guys booked?
That's a tricky question. Really.
Yeah, because you never know.
Because we got a fair amount of work planned already, but we do have some slots. A day or two here or there. We actually just went and looked at replacing a door this morning.
Right.
And we're able to fit that in before we start our next project. So don't hesitate to reach out, big or small.
Big or small, you do it all.
We do it all.
Yeah,
that's right.
Except for roofing.
We don't do roofing.
And so reach out, even to try to get a quote from you, or even like if it's a project that is far out, they should still reach out to you.
Yeah, especially kitchen, bathroom remodels. I mean, those are awesome for the fall and winter.
Right.
We'll do them any time of the year, but we like to work inside where it's warm. But anytime, reach out. We'll start planning. We got other contractors and kitchen design people we work with a lot.
Right.
It's just good to get a price so you can see where we're at, and if you need to go to the bank and get a loan, and you'll have all that information for that as well.
Cool.
Absolutely.
All right. So Tonya and Steve, any final comments?
Enjoy the sunshine.
Yeah, right.
Finally.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And thanks for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, that was Steve Batchelder and Tonya Palmer from Batchelder Carpentry. You can learn more about them at vtcarpenter.com. Thank you so much, folks.
Awesome. Thank you.
With 20 cigarettes, that's Morgan Wallen. As we approach 20 minutes after 7, it's a Friday morning with Steve and John and friends. We take you up to 9 o'clock this morning. A lot of great information still to come your way. As a matter of fact, a conversation I had recently with Budget Lumber, Winston Oaks, right there in North Haverhill. We'll be listening to that in just a few minutes. But right now, we're taking a look at the weekend weather. It's being brought to you by Woodsville Power Equipment. Their sales, service, parts, repairs, rental equipment, and a whole lot more. They have the Milwaukee equipment. And, of course, Bobcat of Woodsville's on the lot at 4942 Dartmouth College Highway. Toro, the power of easy. Products designed to make yard cleanup easy with innovative features that are intuitive, hassle-free, and time-saving. Toro will make your yard the envy of your neighborhood. Toro riding lawnmowers, zero-turn mowers, and attachments are built to last longer and perform better than any others you can find. Toro, yard tools and garden equipment, available locally at Woodsville Power Equipment Tool and Rental.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly sunny with highs from the upper 40s to mid-50s, north to northwest winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. For tonight, clear to partly cloudy, lows from the mid-20s to around 30, north winds 5 to 10 and diminishing. Saturday, mostly to partly sunny, highs in the mid to upper 50s, southeast winds around 5 miles an hour. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
Thank you. We're exactly 21 minutes after 7, 31 degrees, heading for the upper 40s, low 50s. And clear blue sunny skies with us right now. With sales, service, parts, repairs, rental, expert advice, and a whole lot more, be sure to stop by Woodsville Power Equipment. You'll be amazed at what they have to offer you as we're heading now through spring and then into summer. Doesn't matter what the season is, they can help you out. They're at 4942 Dartmouth College Highway. It is Woodsville Power Equipment with another update. As we have been doing this for quite a few months, every other week we find out what's happening at Budget Lumber in North Haverhill. Winston Oakes is the owner. How you doing?
Good.
All right.
Doing very good.
All right, Winston, it seems like we're heading into a kind of a broken record, but we've got to continue to let people know what is going on there with your liquidation sale that started, in August of last year, didn't it?
August, yep.
Yep, all right. So here we are, April of 2026. What's going on there?
Well, we're still, of course, advertising our stock of doors, and which we still have ample.
Mm-hmm.
However, finally getting to the point where we're starting to hang some of the doors that we have here, some of the nicer ones, so they sell a little bit better in a frame. But we can hang anything you pick out. If you pick out a bunch of doors, we can hang them to your specs.
All right, and sometimes, sometimes you mentioned about like mobile homes, that type of stuff. It needs a different size. You can still do that thing.
Oh yeah, mobile homes, of course, a lot of them have a 74-inch door in them, and most doors are 80 inches high, so we can cut them down and put a piece of glass in them and have something better than you had before.
Yeah. So how is your stock in regards to doors and windows right now?
Well, I'm probably sitting on 2,500 interior doors and probably 100 exterior.
You have a good selection then. Yeah.
Yeah, we sold a lot of doors, though. I mean, we're kind of a little bit surprised at how much stock we had out there that we hadn't been looking at, because a lot of stuff has been around here for some time, and we just had down some transoms that use over garage doors and so forth. And I kind of forgot they were what we had. We'd bought a long time ago, so. But now we're starting to get some holes so we can bring out some stuff that's kind of buried. So, come in and take a look. We still got some 1x4 pine that we dug out of and put in the bins, but lumber's pretty short overall. But doors, some windows are left. We got probably 10,000 balusters for railings, for exterior or interior, which are powder-coated steel in colors of white, green, taupe, rust. There's about 5 or 6 colors. So if you need to replace the balusters on your railing, you can do it pretty quickly. Just take out, if the wood ones are rotten out, you put these steel ones right on, or you can use a top 2x4 for your top railing, and a 2x4 for your bottom railing, and we got the adapters to put the railing to sit right in these little cups. It's a pretty good deal, and they're only $1.50 a piece. So they're about 1/10 of what they cost.
With the in-stock inventory that you're trying or planning on getting rid of, what's the deal? 50% off and more?
50% off of, if you take units, and we'll talk about something else. But
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Now, you can still do special orders, so that's not where there's going to be a discount. So let's talk about that for a minute, because you can do that.
Plus, we get a lot of customers that haven't been in here before and didn't realize we're here, but when they come in, they can't find. Well, we'll take some of these naughty radiator curved door pine doors that they're looking for. They're kind of high end, but we have a few of them around here. But if they can't find the size they want, we can order them in, and we're working on pretty small margins because it isn't an ongoing thing anyway.
Roofing, siding, insulation, that type of stuff you can special order.
Yeah, we just ordered in some clear V-groove, clear cedar clapboards, 1x6, or 1/2x6. Actually, they are, but that's a special order, so that's not a problem. Steel roofing's not a problem. We just got in 2 pallets of blowing in insulation that one customer's got a big building he's going to blow, so he bought 2 pallets of that orange corn and insulation. So we're still a lot of stuff going on with new product as well as getting rid of our inventory.
Yeah, get rid of the inventory. That's the 50% off. So what's going on with the kitchen and bath department then, Winston?
Well, she's going full tilt, and that's going to be an ongoing concern. So we're not going to sell that business out. We're going to run it as a side business of the old Budget Lumber. Now it's Budget KB, kitchen and bath. So, but she's been busy, and we're going to spend more time working on that too. We have 4 or 5 kitchen displays and probably 50, 60 vanities and tops, and we can get you click lock flooring or hardwood flooring. So all those things are still ongoing.
Good. All right. Well, we'll talk more about it as Winston gives us an update every couple of weeks. Meanwhile, your hours are what?
8 to 4, Monday through Friday.
All right. And Budget Lumber's under the historic water tower just off Route 10 in North Haverhill. All right, Winston, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Bill Dickey, Commander of the American Legion of Rosswood Post 20. On Saturday, April 25th, we're opening our doors to the public and our members for a community open house. Breakfast will be served from 8 to 10 by donation, and everyone is welcome. I hope you'll come by, enjoy a good breakfast, and take a little time to see how the American Legion supports veterans, family, and the community year-round, and to find out if you're eligible to become a member. Pull up a chair, grab some breakfast, and get to know your local Legion. That's Rosswood Post 20's open house, Saturday, April 25th, with breakfast from 8 to 10.
It is 7:31. Good morning. 31 degrees, by the way, under clear blue sunny skies. We're all set to check out today's birthdays and anniversaries. Friday, April 24th, 2026. Glad that you could be with us today. All right, birthdays today being wished to Doug Murray, Steve Page, Holly Ilsley, Eliza Thayer, Natalie Perry, Eileen Janes, and also to Bill Malte. Birthday wishes from the whole Byrne family. And also the happy anniversary to Mark and Alina Wheeler. And those are the birthdays and the anniversary that we have today, brought to you by the Swenson Insurance Agency in Bradford. They can take care of your insurance needs, so be sure to reach out to them for a quote. And also if you have insurance questions. And while you're there, be sure and thank them for bringing you birthdays and anniversaries. Bill Malte celebrates today. Birthday wishes from the whole Byrne family. Also celebrating Eileen Janes, Natalie Perry, Eliza Thayer, Holly Ilsley, Steve Page, and Doug Murray. And our happy anniversary wishes to Mark and Alina Wheeler. Hoping each and every one of you make it a great day on a Friday, April 24th, 2026.
In many areas, wild animals are a serious traffic safety concern. Stay safe with these tips. While driving, scan the road and shoulders of the road ahead. Look for yellow road signs warning of high danger areas. Use extra caution when traveling during dawn and dusk. Animals are most active during these times. At night, use high beams if there's no oncoming traffic. Be on the lookout for reflecting eyes. Remember, deer are herd animals. Where there's one, there's usually more nearby. If a collision is unavoidable, apply the brakes and steer straight. Let up on the brakes just before impact, allowing the front of your vehicle to rise slightly, reducing the risk of the animal striking the windshield. Take it from me and MMG, protecting your piece of the world.
The Swenson Insurance Agency of Bradford is a family-owned business that has been serving Vermont and New Hampshire since 1960. Service is their best policy at the Swenson Insurance Agency, Bradford. All right, as our listeners know, been experiencing some crazy April weather, and here to explain why is Mark Breen. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Stephen. How are you?
That's a pretty good introduction right there. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I like that.
All right. So you're going to explain to our listeners what is going on.
Well, and it has been quite a turnaround. Although I was thinking about it, both March and April this year have featured these big swings back and forth. So last week it got to 68 last Friday, a week ago, 66 on Saturday, and it was snowing by Sunday afternoon.
It was.
I just thought, well, it's a classic April sort of setup. Yeah. We do get back and forth this time of year anyway. That's kind of normal. And the reason that's normal is that this time of year, I know the snow's probably, gone from most locations. There may be a pile of snow here or there, but basically the snow is gone. And yet you go up into central and northern Canada or even the mountaintops here, there's still snow and ice. And so when the air sits over that snow and ice, it actually refrigerates it. It gets it colder. And so that's the source of these little spells of cold weather that we end up getting. And at the same time, the sun is up higher in the sky. It's out longer. The length of the day is now almost 14 hours. And, that's 2 hours more than just a couple, let's see, it would have been 5 weeks ago when the days and the nights were equal. So we've really gained a lot in terms of sunshine, and that warms up the atmosphere. So we end up with these competing sort of sources, so to say. You've got the cold that's remnant of the winter. You've got the heating of the sun. And, I sort of envision this, especially the cold air, as these bowling balls of cold air, because they do kind of occupy this large area on a weather map where this big swirl of clouds and cold air, sometimes some moisture, so some rain or even some snow, and they don't tend to move very quickly. They're separated from the general airflow, so they tend to sit in one spot, and so either you're underneath that, and in which case it's cloudy and cool and raw and not very very pleasant outside, or you can get in between them, in which case you can get spells of sunshine and temperatures climbing into the 60s or even 70s. And that's really what's been going on this month, is that we've seen, these blobs come in and we're stuck in the cold, and then they move out and we get stuck in the sunshine for several days.
Yeah, it's so awesome when the sun does come out and you're outside. It really feels so great this time of the year, doesn't it?
It does, although yesterday I thought was a classic example of this, because I was out and, the sun, the clouds were moving out and the sun was coming out. It was like, this is going to be pretty nice. And then the wind came up.
Wind, didn't it blow?
It did. It did. So, it just occurred to me that it's really the classic Aesop fable. Now, I don't know how many people remember this story, so we'll just kind of remind people that there was a contest. This is going, it's an Aesop fable kind of thing. So, but the wind and the sun saw this old man dressed in an overcoat, and they decided to have a contest to see which one could get him to take off his coat. Now, the wind is figuring, I'll just blow it off him. So the wind blows, but of course that's cold, so the man wraps the coat even tighter. And the wind blows even stronger, and he wraps the coat even tighter. So the wind says, all right, this, let you have a try at it, Mr. Sun. So the sun just simply shines. And it shines, and it shines, and it gets warmer, and it gets warmer. So warm that the man took off his coat. So I just thought that was a good example of what yesterday was like. When the sun was out, it felt just terrific, but when the wind blew, you wanted to wrap that coat around even tighter.
Yeah, it's observing the spring sports locally and attending some of them.
Yes.
That's what you see in some of the athletes and also the spectators. The coats on, the coats off, the coats on, the coats off. Definitely. Mark Breen is our head meteorologist for the Fairbanks Museum. Our weekly conversations brought to you by Hatch Lane Farm in North Haverhill. All right, a little bit more in regards to the cool weather and the setup that developed this week, and it, I guess, might persist, right?
Yeah, it's looking like this may be, so we've got some cool weather obviously here now, and it'll ease up a little bit this weekend. We've got some sunshine to talk about. All of that's pretty nice. But in general, the weather pattern has been shifting around, and it looks like it'll be cooler than average and perhaps wetter than average in May. Now, that's partly because of what we can see in the weather maps going on right now, but it's also, it fits in with, and we often talk about this, the general weather patterns, and a lot of that is governed by what goes on in the Pacific, because that's the biggest, chunk of real estate on the planet, and it really does influence the weather patterns globally. So we were going from some cooler water near the Pacific equator to some warmer water, and that transition, the warmer water is called El Nino. I think people have heard that term a number of times now. And so when El Ninos occur, there's actually a tendency for, and just how the weather pattern sets up globally, for some cooler weather here in the northeastern United States. And so that kind of fits in with this idea that may see this cool weather kind of persist a little bit. Also, it tends to give us fewer heat waves and more rain in the summer. Now, I certainly, we have had a couple of extremely wet summers a few summers ago, so we don't want to see anything like that, but we don't want to see the opposite extreme, what we had last year, where we couldn't buy any rainfall. So be nice to have something in between, and maybe we'll kind of keep our fingers crossed. There's like I said, we're looking at kind of averages and the trends, and there's a trend to, more rainfall than normal, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be, a rainy summer. One of the things that I like about summer, it's the wettest time of year anyway. On the average, we get more rainfall per month in June, July, and August than we do any other months. However, we also get more sunshine in each of those months, because when it does rain, it's it's kind of that classic summer situation where it just pours, out of a thunderstorm or something like that, and then it stops and it clears out. So,
kind of like the wind and the sun. It rains and then the sun comes out and it evaporates it, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Oh, well, let's find out before we check out the forecast what's going on with the moon and some of those planets.
Yeah, so we had enough clear skies in the evenings this week. Got some great views. I hope folks got a chance to see the crescent moon kind of running between Venus, which is low but bright over toward the west and northwest, and up to Jupiter. It was near Jupiter on Wednesday night, and then last night a little bit to the right, or I'm sorry, to the left of it. Jupiter was to the right, and so the moon's getting bigger, it's getting brighter. But Venus and Jupiter, they're going to stand out in the western skies right on through the month of June. So some great viewing coming along, and then the moon gets bigger next week. When we talk next week, we'll be talking about the full moon on May 1st.
Yeah, into May Day, I guess, right? There you go.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
7:42. Mark Breen's going to check out the weekend forecast. Compliments of our sponsor, Hatch Lane Farm in North Haverhill. What's it look like?
Yeah, and it looks like sunshine, although it'll mix in with some clouds this afternoon. No big deal. It'll remain cool, and maybe a couple of degrees cooler than yesterday, upper 40s and low 50s, and still a brisk north wind, maybe not quite as windy as yesterday. It clears out tonight, and that means another cold, frosty night down in the 20s, but the sunshine will warm us up again tomorrow. We'll see a few clouds in the afternoon, but I think it's going to climb into the 50s tomorrow, so pretty nice start to the weekend. Saturday night, there'll be some clouds. It won't be quite so cold, right around, say, 30 or 32, and then Sunday, there'll be some clouds and some sun. Temperatures a few degrees warmer, 50s to near 60, and the winds will be light.
All right. And I assume maybe next Friday you'll have a few statistics in regards to April.
We'll wrap up April, and we'll talk about May 1st and May Day. There's all kinds of things.
All right. Enjoy the weekend.
Well, thank you. You too.
All right. Thanks for the update, Mark.
All righty.
All right. There you have it. Brought to you by Hatch Lane Farm, Wicked Good Dairy Delights, and Profile Meats right there in North Haverhill. Be sure to patronize our local businesses right there in North Haverhill. Coming up 7:44, we'll be making a phone call to Lauren Nelson and find out what's happening at LC Design Concepts located on Route 10 in North Haverhill. But first, planning your lunch today or your breakfast, whatever the case may be, at Tuttle's Family Diner in downtown Wells River, you can enjoy the haddock sandwich with chips and pickle today, haddock dinner with choice of potato and a side. How about the salmon pea wiggle over toast or crackers along with a side? You can also enjoy the Montshire Farm Rodeo Burger with french fries or tater tots. Their soup today is tomato cheddar. And if you need to order out, it's 757-3333. Those are the specials. You can also order from the regular menu at Tuttle's Family Diner right here in downtown Wells River. All right, we'll update you again on the forecast momentarily, and then we'll be making a phone call to Lauren to see what's happening at LC Design Concepts.
Bar Harbor Bank and Trust helps businesses succeed. We're proud to be recognized by Forbes and Newsweek as one of America's best banks multiple years running. We can help you get the financing you need quickly and improve your cash flow. With over 50 branches and 90 ATMs across northern New England, we make managing your business easier. Whether your business is growing, expanding, or evolving, we can make it happen together. Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Good things happen when we work together. Member FDIC.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: sunshine mixed with some clouds midday and afternoon, remaining cool, highs upper 40s and low 50s with a fresh northerly wind. Tonight, clearing and cold, lows in the 20s. The winds will become light and variable, and Saturday, sun mixed with some afternoon clouds, a bit milder, highs in the 50s. Sunday, variable clouds and sun, 55 to 60. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. It is 7:47. We're in the low 30s, heading for possibly the low 50s today. Brought to you by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Be sure to visit them on barharbor.bank. It's award-winning banking every day across northern New England. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Lauren, good morning.
Good morning.
And how are you today?
Good. It's happy sunny Friday.
Indeed it is. All right, so how are things at
Yes.
LC Design Concepts, and how did the open house go for you last week, and also for the Chamber of Commerce?
Oh, it was a very well-attended event.
Awesome.
I think we figured from looking at the photos and just thinking back that we had just over 60 people come through, and it was a beautiful night. It was it was quite warm out, so it actually got kind of warm in there with everybody all at once. But it was a very well-attended event, and it was a good mix of people. A lot of former clients of mine, contractors, and other chamber members. But we also had quite a few of new people that were just interested in seeing what was in the building, like what's been going on there. So it was a very good event. I enjoyed it. Cleanup wasn't too complicated, and now I can just get down to regular business in the showroom.
Awesome. That's great. And, boy, I'm sure you had a lot of great comments because you finally got it pretty much where you like it, I assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a couple of more tweaks and a few small displays that we're waiting to finish. We're still waiting on some wallpaper to come in. But other than that, everything's pretty much done. And yesterday we had the gutters put on, which was good, so that'll help maintain the outside of the building.
Mm-hmm.
So all those things, that aren't so fun to spend money on, but that are a necessity are getting done. And so it's hopefully in the near future we'll be replacing a couple of the windows and putting in a new exterior door. So once those are done, it'll feel like, okay, don't need to think about this place anymore. I can just focus on designing and selling kitchens.
Mm-hmm. Making it yours. And your location again in North Haven on Route 10 is where for our listeners?
Yeah, we're right on Route 10 at 2858 Dartmouth College Highway, so just north of the 116 turnoff.
Now, what's the best way for our listeners to contact you then?
Sure. I always tell people they should, if you can, just Google LC Design, and we should come up pretty near, if not at the top, and search for the website has all our contact info. I like to tell people I work just me, myself, and I, so oftentimes, if I'm at your house measuring, that means no one's at the showroom. So I definitely encourage people to call or email ahead of time for an appointment, so that way I can be there and give you the attention that your project is going to require. The spring starts it's going to start picking up when, thinking about remodeling and doing the kitchen and not having to eat out of to-go containers, but being able to cook on the grill. A lot of times people enjoy doing a remodel spring and summer because they can cook elsewhere while the kitchen is completely torn apart. So it's going to start getting quite busy.
Yeah. So take that into consideration. If you're thinking about redoing your bathroom or the kitchen, like Lauren just said, and you only have, let's say, one bathroom, you're going to rip it out, you're going to need an outhouse or a neighbor that's really kind to you.
Yes, and hopefully you're still friendly after that.
That's true. Right. All right. So, even if a lot of people can do their own projects nowadays, so if they order the stuff from you, what's the turnaround time, Lauren?
Sure. So we have we have cabinets that we can get within, say, 15 business days or so, and the longest lead time, I think, is about 8 weeks with delivery.
Okay.
So, and everything in between. I think the average I typically say is about a month from order to receiving. And the nice thing about the new showroom is having that warehouse space. We're able to receive a lot more product there than I was ever able to in the Wells River location, where I had no storage capacity or the ability to receive a truck. I used to have to run up to P&H truck stop to meet a truck to unload a vanity or parts and pieces. And it always rained the day a truck came.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think I ever unloaded at P&H in the sun. So having the new warehouse space has been amazing. Having that for people to be able to come pick stuff up, it makes projects, if you are going to DIY an install, it's just easier if you want to pick it up and we don't have to coordinate with the delivery company. So that alone has been a blessing, having that in the new building.
Yeah, take into consideration, going back earlier in our conversation there, if you're planning a huge remodel and you need a contractor, it's going to lead to a lot of time where things are going to be, I guess, torn apart. Let's get to the point, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, hiring electricians, hiring plumbers, hiring your general contractor, and also working with you and appliances and all that stuff. There's a lot to it, isn't there?
There's a lot to it, and part of my sort of responsibility in the whole project is to make sure that stuff help you get that coordinated. None of the labor actually goes through me in the business, but I can help coordinate it and make sure that we stay on top of things, so when the demo is done, the plumber and electrician can come do their prep work and all that. So it's a multi-person project that we all sort of help one another out with the different parts and pieces and all the moving parts to make it go as smoothly as we can.
And Lauren's pretty good at keeping you married too. What I hear.
Yes, I do have a degree in psychology with my official background, so we can throw in a little marriage counseling while we get through the remodel.
We in this conversation kind of make it sound like, ew, it's going to raise heck with you, but it's really not that bad. You just have to grin and bear it, so to speak, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So again, you're electronically available online, and also, as we said, Route 10 in North Haverhill. Let our listeners know where they can find you, and we'll let you get on with your day.
All right. Well, come see us at lcdesignconcepts.com or just Google us, and all the contact info is there.
Okay. It's right there. All right, Lauren, always a great conversation with you. We like it better when you're in the studio, but we realize sometimes we have to do it via telephone. But
yes.
We'll see you live in the studio sometime soon.
All right. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Lauren Nelson via telephone this morning. Of course, we were saying lots of times she's live here in the studio, and we'll see her in here sometime soon. Glad that you could be with us this morning. It is 7:54. Stephen, John, and friends up until 9 this morning. Taking a break momentarily to check out the weather again. Top of the hour network news. We come out of it chatting with Westward Auto Repair, and then Lorenzo Wilhite. We'll have a guest with him today from Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank, as we do the final Friday of the month. We find out what's happening at Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank, and it will be Patty Clark, who is the Bradford and Newbury branch manager, that will be with Lorenzo today. So we're going to take a break for a moment, and when we come back, we'll take another look at the weekend weather.
Spring in the North Country means mud, melt, and new car smells. North Country Ford has the 4x4 trucks and SUVs to handle it. Reliable when the roads aren't, and ready for whatever the season throws your way. Because around here, spring doesn't wait until your car is ready to take it on, and neither should you. Stop by North Country Ford on Middle Street in Lancaster, or visit northcountrymotors.com and start the season strong.
You know we're still North Country is strong. North Country Ford.
When it comes to pre-planning for final arrangements of yourself or a loved one, Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care of Woodsville has information on planning traditional funerals, green burials, and cremation on their website at rickerfh.com. Your decision about final arrangements reflects your exact wishes, alleviating any questions, issues, or differences among your loved ones in the future. Prepayment protects you from rising costs to ease financial burdens. Ricker Funeral Home welcomes the opportunity to listen to your needs and answer any questions. They are online at rickerfh.com or call 603-747-2717.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: sunshine mixed with some clouds midday and afternoon, remaining cool, highs upper 40s and low 50s with a fresh northerly wind. Tonight, clearing and cold, lows in the 20s. The winds will become light and variable. And Saturday, sun mixed with some afternoon clouds, a bit milder, highs in the 50s. Sunday, variable clouds and sun, 55 to 60. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Compliments of Ricker Funeral Home in Woodsville. They're online at rickerfh.com and also available at 603-747-2717. You're now up to date on the weekend weather with temperatures in the low 30s. We're heading for the low 50s. Glad you could be with us today. I'm Stephen John. We still have another hour of entertainment for you. A lot of great information still to come your way. Top of the hour network news, compliments of CBS. Don't forget about the cribbage tournament coming up this weekend. If you'd like to be part of that, it's in memory of Forrest Thurston at the Orange East Senior Center. It'll happen Sunday, April 26th. Doors open at 12:15. The games begin at 1. And fluffy blueberry pancakes and local maple syrup, along with all the goodies to go along with it. You'll enjoy a great breakfast that'll be served at the VFW Hall, Route 116 in North Haverhill. This Saturday, April 25th, it'll be from 8 until 10:30. Donations will be graciously accepted. And as part of the Newbury, Vermont 250th commemoration, it looks like the Arbor Day tree planting is going to be taking place in Wells River at April 25th and April 26th in West Newbury. Some of the activities on a community events calendar that's brought to you by Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank. Right now it's 8 o'clock. We're checking out the latest world and national news from CBS. We're 3 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's head to St. Johnsbury. Say good morning to Dave up there at Westward Auto Repair. How you doing, Dave?
Doing well. How are you?
All right, good. All right, so it sounds like we're heading into a busy time of the year for Westward Auto Repair as we're cruising into spring and heading into summer. Probably looking at a lot of tire changing, Dave?
We sure are. Yeah, tire season is hit. So getting them in, getting the tires changed over, checking out the brakes, getting all the suspension components fixed up from the long, hard winter.
Do you store tires in the off-season for customers or only when you're heading into the actual season, Dave?
So we do have some we've stored. We've kind of backed off now because we've run out of room, but
Sure.
there are a few customers that have, through the years, kept them here, and we've kind of just kept that tradition along to make it easier.
Certainly. Okay. So let's talk about tires and suspension just a little bit. I know in talking with Brett and Danny the last couple of weeks, some of the tires were hard to get. Is that eased up a little bit now, Dave?
Yeah, it's looking like it's easier. We haven't really seen a lot of big price changes or anything either, so it's been good.
All right.
For the most part, everything's kind of stayed consistent. We've been able to get a decent supply and nothing crazy on prices yet.
Mm-hmm. All right, good. All right, in regards to suspension, they take some abuse over the winter months. When you're doing the tires, I assume you're checking suspension and shocks.
Oh, yeah, checking ball joints, shocks, obviously getting a good look at the brakes. It's coming into that season where you should probably get the brakes serviced if they don't need to be replaced. Probably need to dry out a little bit more, but all that mud and stuff from the back roads gets packed in there and really beats things up.
All right, final, in regards to all of that, we're talking about the tires, talking about the suspension. Of course, New Hampshire, for the time being, has done away with the inspections. What about Vermont, and what's the sticker that needs to be on vehicles now, Dave?
So right now we're still looking at 4s. Obviously, we're coming up in May, and so it'll be a 5. But they're still doing stickers in Vermont, so making sure, everything's safe for the road. Hopefully they keep it that way. We haven't heard anything of it being different as of yet, but who knows?
I hear you. All right, hours at Westwood Auto Repair are what up there?
Monday through Friday, 7 to 5.
All right, good enough. online at westward.com or 748-3636. Make it a great weekend, Dave.
You as well. Thank you.
All righty. Pushing 6 minutes after 8. We do that every couple of weeks. We check in with West Ward Auto Repair. They're located right there in St. Johnsbury. They're at 1193 Portland Street. And always some great conversation with them. All right, our attention turns to Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank. It is the last Friday of the month. And it seems like April and March went by pretty quick for you guys.
It did.
Man, it flew.
Really did.
All right. And here we end in spring and summer. It'll go even faster. As
Seems
it
like
usually
it.
does.
Things are moving right along.
All right. How are you, Patty?
Good, Steve. How are you?
Good.
Good
Patty.
to see you.
Good. Thanks for bringing. Haven't seen you for a couple of months.
No, I've been busy. Seems like I've been running different times, so
Yeah.
good to get here again.
Yeah, it's good to see both of you. All right. So what's on the agenda today? We have an event coming up, I assume.
Yeah, so today we thought instead of talking about just the traditional bank things that we normally talk about, there's a what we feel pretty special event coming up, pretty important, and something that we just like to spend a little time talking about. And I'll kind of let Patty take the lead on this.
Right.
Okay. Many of you know Dom Castaldi. He's been with us actually 8 years. We just celebrated his 5th year full-time, but he started as a student teller with us, and he is just an amazing person. Great personality, wonderful coworker. Unfortunately, has some health issues. He has they thought it was muscular dystrophy when he was younger, and they've come to find out that it is not, but they don't know what it is, but he has muscular atrophy. So it's gotten to the point that he's going to need a motorized wheelchair and another specialized vehicle to be where he wants to be independent. And everybody loves Dom, customers, employees, everything. Pat Riggy had started a GoFundMe for him, which is going great. But the bank itself, senior management, said that we really, as a team, we should be doing something for him ourselves too. So a couple of ideas were tossed out. And it was decided that we would have a spaghetti dinner for him. And then senior management asked the employee recognition committee to kind of take the lead on it and organize it. So we've met a few times and we've had some great input. So we're going to have a spaghetti dinner for him on Saturday, May 16th at the Bradford Senior Center, just past Farmway, and it's 4:30 to 7, and we're going to have a raffle as well. So the tickets we're pre-selling tickets only to get us gauge how many people to expect. But if people cannot buy tickets ahead of time, they are certainly to walk in. Walk-ins are welcome, and we will have takeouts for anyone who would like to participate but can't stay with us.
Okay.
You have a question. It looks like you have a question.
No, it's a lot of money that's got to be raised. I mean, if you're talking special wheelchair and special vehicle.
Special vehicle, yes.
It's a lot of money. So if people can attend, and starting right now, if they want to contribute, they can do so. And what would be the best way to do it? Patty?
Absolutely. As I said, there is a GoFundMe, but we realize that a lot of people don't like to do that online.
Sure.
So we do have a savings account set up for Dom at the bank, so people can just walk in and make a donation at any one of our 5 branches. All the tellers know the account number, and all that money that's put in that account goes directly to Dom, as does all of the proceeds from the spaghetti dinner and raffle.
Yeah. Of course, we all know how expensive just a regular vehicle is, but when you have one that's special equipped, it's going to double the price in a hurry.
Exactly.
Or triple.
Exactly.
So this is coming up in May.
Yes.
On the 16th.
Yes.
At the Orange East Senior Center in Bradford.
Yes.
Okay, just past Farmway.
Exactly.
Across from the industrial park.
Yep, behind the vet building. Yes.
We'll find it.
It's easy to find, and it's easily accessible. Everyone can get into it. Plenty of parking.
Yeah, I think we'll have some really good raffle items. We've got, you know how our communities are.
Sure.
So we've got some businesses who've been very generous in trying to help support this also, and we just appreciate everybody. Everybody that's been a part of this, in helping us put this together too.
Okay.
Yep. We've solicited businesses, and we've had customers, especially in Bradford. They like, we love Dom. We want to help him. Can I donate this for your raffle? So we've had customers donate items for the raffle. And how we're doing the raffle, it's like a penny it's a hybrid, because it started, we didn't want to do a silent auction because we felt that excluded people that weren't there at the end. So we were going to do a penny raffle where you buy a sheet of tickets and there's 25 tickets and you put them in the bucket for whatever item you want.
That's fun. Yeah,
it is.
That's a good way to do it, yeah.
But we also, because as Lorenzo said, we've had some great support. We have a couple of big ticket items already and maybe more to come. But Home Depot has donated a gas grill. John Hobbs donated 4 tickets to a Red Sox game in August. So there's a few items that will be sealed bids. So people will just put their name, email address, phone number, and how much they want to bid in the box. And at the end of the night, we'll take the bids out, and whoever bid the highest gets that item.
It's going to be a good night.
So it's
going to
kind
be
of
fun.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. Where after we met, I put out an email to the staff and said, you know, it's been decided, this is the date, this is what we're doing. Anyone can help, we'd love it. Within an hour, I had probably 20 people already said, oh, I'd love to help, I'd love to help. I can do this, I can do that. So not only community support, but support from his coworkers has been amazing.
Yep, so it's community banking's all about.
Yes.
So that's May 16th, and there's going to be more in regard to that on the radio and also in the papers.
Yes.
And also with the bank.
Yes.
I'm sure you have it on the website.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Other interest? Go ahead.
Well, one last thing.
Sure.
I just found out yesterday that I was going to come down with Lorenzo today, so I asked.
Lucky you.
I know.
Well, we like to give a lot of notice. That's so you can prepare.
Like, oh, well, so it was fine.
All right.
And so I asked Dom. I said, "Is there anything that you want me to say, or you don't want me to say? I don't want to say something that you don't want me to put out there." He said, "No. As far as saying anything, you know, there's nothing you can say that I don't want you to say." I said, "Okay." He said, "But I would like you to say how thankful I am." And it just goes to show his character. He said, "I cannot tell people how much it means to me that everyone has been so generous. And so please, if you say anything, make sure you say thank you." And that's just how Dom is.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's great.
Yep. Exactly.
Well, hope for the best all the way around.
Yes.
That's for sure. And other news from the bank might include what? That's why we get together the final Friday of the month, kind of find out what has happening. And as Patty just said, what's coming up on May 16th.
Yep. So right now we're kind of in that time where things are a little bit quiet. You know, there's not a lot going on really. It's more spring is starting to come. People are starting to move around a little bit more. And I just want to remind everybody that this is a good time if you're starting to shop for a home. Come in and talk with the lender, give a call, get yourself pre-approved so you know what you can do. Same thing on the commercial side. Our commercial lenders are busy right now because, like I said, things are thawing. People are able to start getting those trucks back on the road soon. Things are happening there. From a bank standpoint, really the main thing that's going on is we'll have Green Up Day coming up in May, and not a lot, but during the month of May is when we begin really getting geared up for our Customer Appreciation Days in June.
Sure.
So everything begins to start really moving.
Yeah, in a hurry.
It does.
And you're the branch manager of Bradford and Newbury?
I am.
Right. Have been for a while. You've been with the bank a long time?
Yes, it seems like quite a long time.
Okay.
In June it'll be 34 years.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I was actually, when I was thinking about what I was going to say about Dom, I've been with him 8 years because I was in Wells River for a while, and then I went back to Bradford in 2018, and I've had the privilege of working with him for 8 years, and it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
So
It's great.
it's been
Of course,
a great place to work.
It has been. Yeah, a lot of people have been there a long time. Yeah.
Yes.
Lorenzo, president and CEO, position the last 2 or 3 years?
Yep. So I'm going in my 4th year as a CEO, and been with the bank going to be 19 years.
Yeah, it speaks a lot to have, the president and CEO, dedicate coming in the final Friday of the month, having such a busy schedule, I'm sure. Same with you, too, being a branch manager.
It is. It's wonderful, and we love to be able to be here and share what we have going on with the community. And
Either one of you have final comments today before we head into the weekend?
No, I think everybody just have a good weekend, and we'll
hope to see you on the 16th.
Absolutely.
If you have any questions, please reach out. I'm in the Bradford branch Monday through Friday and every occasional Saturday.
There you go. Thank you, Patty.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Lorenzo.
Thank you.
All right,
Have a good
Wells River
weekend.
Savings, your good neighbor bank. Final Friday of the month, we have a comment from them to find out what's happening at the bank during the last month and also into the next month.
Celtics, 76ers, Game 3 tonight in Philadelphia. Both teams so far a win and a loss. Jaylen Brown not at all nervous about this game.
We don't panic. We can make some improvements, and everything ain't gonna go and be perfect. We just got to make sure that we stay together and we keep learning from our mistakes in real time and executing down the stretch. Trust your teammates, trust each other, and just come out and do what we've been doing. It's just us against the world. We got each other's back.
Jaylen Brown, last game, Jason Tatum scored only 19 points. Tatum expected to excel tonight.
I think it comes with being one of the best players in the league, and the more you accomplish, the more it gives people opportunity to nitpick. If I wasn't who I was or at a certain status, people would probably not talk about me as much. I'm not the first superstar in league history to deal with this. It comes with it.
Jason Tatum, Celtics 76ers, Game 3 tonight.
It's 16 minutes after 8. Thank you for being with us this morning. Stephen, John, and friends. Take you up till 9 o'clock. Up next, conversation with Valley Floors, and then with Liz Shelton at the Party Store, and a conversation I had earlier this month with Kuba and Natalie Kennett from Cottage Hospital. We'll listen to our Cottage on Call sometime shortly after 8:30. But right now, we're taking another look at the weather forecast, and it's being brought to you by Tommy's Auto, which is now open at 266 Route 10 in Piermont. And Tommy's taking your vehicles in for maintenance as we speak, and also for those summer tires. So be sure and contact Tommy by calling 802-535-2804. Tommy's Auto is now open at 266 Route 10 in Piermont, taking care of all vehicle maintenance needs. Think spring. Now's the time to reserve your summer tires mounted and balanced for the best prices and all services. Make your appointment soon by calling Tommy's Auto, 802-535-2804. After spending many years of Moonlight Auto Repair, Tommy decided to open his own business at 266 Route 10 in Piermont. Open every day, Monday through Saturday, beginning at 7:30. Now's the time to contact Tommy's Auto.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: sunshine mixed with some clouds midday and afternoon, remaining cool. Highs upper 40s and low 50s with a fresh northerly wind. Tonight, clearing and cold. Lows in the 20s. The winds will become light and variable. And Saturday, sun mixed with some afternoon clouds, a bit milder. Highs in the 50s. Sunday, variable clouds and sun, 55 to 60. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
And Tommy's Auto, located right there on Route 266 in Piermont. That's 266 Route 10 in Piermont. And Tommy's Auto is open every day, Monday through Saturday, beginning at 7:30 in the morning. And it's a good idea to make your appointment by calling Tommy at 802-535-2804. And he'll book you in and get your vehicle ready for the summer ahead. All right, we're heading to Bradford. Been doing this many, many years, chatting with Valley Floors. This time around, it's Greg who's going to give us an update in regards to what's happening with window offerings, right?
Yes, sir.
Indeed. All right, so we're heading from winter into spring and summer, and those window offerings can help out in many ways, and you're going to tell us how, right?
Yes.
All right.
It was quiet there for, a month, but since the sun has shined and the weather's broke, it's starting to pick up, and so I've got a lot going on, but I've also got room for other people that would like to come in our showroom and have a look.
All right, it's a pretty easy deal, I guess. They come in and talk with you. You go out to their home or their business and do a measure. You do the order, and then you also install them, don't you?
Correct.
Wow.
So one-shop deal, yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be easy, and a lot of times it can be challenging. The window industry has really come a long ways from the old type of shades. Now it's all, the custom shades. There's many, many different kinds. There's power view, there's cordless, and there's a ton of options.
For the most part, I assume you're going to steer your customers in the right direction depending on what their needs are. How does that work?
Correct. Well, when I talk to somebody on the phone initially, I try to get them to come into the showroom because I really want to have them come in and have a look and see what they want. They may say one thing on the phone and then get in and go, oh, my God, I don't like that. So it makes a whole lot of sense if they come in, pick a product, look at some products, then I go out and do a measure, do a consultation at the house, and give them an estimate, and that's all. We don't charge anything for that, so that's all kind of free. And then if they decide we want to do it, we order them, and then we install them.
Yeah, that sounds like it's pretty easy. Now, I assume even though these are a higher grade, there's still different grades that they can choose from.
Oh, yes, yeah. I mean, we've got some that are really, really expensive, and we got some that are a whole lot less expensive. It depends on what their needs are and what they're trying to accomplish. And some people don't like window shades at all. They want them to disappear in the window.
Yeah.
So I try to help people with that, and yeah, it's a lot.
So you have got 3 of the major manufacturers, and
I've
those
got Hunter Douglas, Norman, and Graber.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what's the technology like nowadays? Because I've heard you can use your smartphone to operate these things.
Oh my God, it's just gone. It's Alexa, your smartphone. I mean, the days of just the remote are gone. I mean, when you program these shades, you can program them with your phone. I mean, you can live in California and have a house up here in Vermont and close your shades.
Man,
it's that crazy.
It's come a long way, hasn't it?
It's come a long ways. Yeah, you really, I personally really have to try to keep up with it, and sometimes it's difficult. But you just plug along, and there's always, these companies are really great about helping you and guiding you and making sure that you have everything that you need.
So in regards to your smartphone, obviously it's battery operated. So if your window shades are operated remote like that, are they plugged into the wall or are they battery operated?
Well, a lot of your shades now, I mean, they're the battery operated ones work great. They have, Norman now has a product where the motor's in the headrail, and they have a cordless wand that charges them. A lot of the Windows shades are hardwired, which means the wires up in the headrail of the window.
Okay.
And you hitch it up to the shade, and it goes to a box in another room. And the one thing about that is you never ever have to change batteries.
Ah, okay.
It's hardwired, so the only time it don't work is when the power goes.
Definitely. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect world, is it?
No, it's not. But the shades have come a long ways.
Excellent. Wow. Greg Hodge is the expert. You've been doing the window shades pretty much since they were brought to Valley Floors, right?
Yeah. Well, it's been about 8 years.
Has it? Good.
Yeah, it's
Good.
come a long ways. It's technology's come a long ways. You've got to really, as you well know, just there's something happening every single day of the week. So.
Yeah. And our listeners probably should realize, too, that even though we're talking about higher-end Hunter Douglas and the Graber and the Norman, it's not like it's going to break the bank.
No. I mean, it's just like anything else. If you can buy quality or you can buy something less expensive and have issues with it. The one thing about here is if you buy it from us, you've only got one person to call here to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
If something breaks or doesn't work, you just call Greg at Valley Floors, and I'll take care of it.
You got that service after the sale.
You betcha. And we've got a great showroom here, not just for shades, but for everything else. I mean, if people haven't been in the store, they really should come in because we've got a wide array of everything.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? We're so fortunate to have Valley Floors right there in Bradford at 222-9611. And thing is to call Greg in advance, book your appointment, and go from there.
You betcha.
Final comments?
No, just that, I've got all kinds of room, and, if people would like to come in and look at the showroom and talk with me and set up something, I'd love to see them. I'd love to hear from them.
Awesome. Enjoy the weekend, okay, Greg?
You as well, Steve. Thank you so much.
Thank you. There you have it. Conversation that we do each and every week with Valley Floors in Bradford. We're moments away from checking out the forecast and making a call to Woodsville to find out what's happening at the party store and everything but the cook with Liz Shelton. But first, here in Wells River at Tuttle's Family Diner, here's what you can enjoy today. If you're looking for some soup, they've got tomato cheddar today. Or how about the Montshire Farm rodeo burger with french fries or tater tots, the haddock sandwich with chips and pickle, or the salmon pea wiggle over toast or crackers along with a side. They also have the haddock dinner with choice potato and a side. You can order from these specials or from the regular menu at Tuttle's Family Diner right here in downtown Wells River. At 25 minutes after 8, we're warming up under clear blue sunny skies into the mid-30s, heading to the upper 40s and low 50s today. PTO's Repair, located at 2320 Route 5 in Fairleigh at 802-222-6152, updates you on the weekend weather.
PTOs want you to know we are your local factory authorized Fisher Plow dealer. We sell, install, and service all Fisher plows and sanders. We have over 20 years of experience and factory training. Make PTO's Repair your first stop for all your Fisher Plow needs. PTO's Repair, 2320 Route 5 Fairleigh, or at ptosrepair.com. I'm PTO, and I wanted you to know.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: sunshine mixed with some clouds midday and afternoon, remaining cool. Highs upper 40s and low 50s with a fresh northerly wind. Tonight, clearing and cold. Lows in the 20s. The winds will become light and variable. And Saturday, sun mixed with some afternoon clouds, a bit milder. Highs in the 50s. Sunday, variable clouds and sun, 55 to 60. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Updated look at the forecast for the listening area. Compliments of your friends at PTO's Repair. Fisher authorized dealer at the new location, 2320 Route 5 in Fairleigh. Paul looks forward to helping you out with your plow and sander needs as we cruise from winter into spring, summer, and then, of course, fall and winter. It usually does snow around here again. And who knows, it might snow again in May. Hope not. At least here in the valleys. All right, there you have it. An updated look at the weather. Compliments of PTO's Repair, now located on Route 5 in Fairleigh. Taking a break here momentarily. We'll find out what's happening in other activities as we take a break and make a phone call and hopefully get Liz Shelton on the line and find out what's happening at the party store and also everything but the cook right there in Woodsville.
You know about Kohler home standby generators, but maybe you bought one of the other generators on the market. Well, for a limited time, buy a Kohler home standby generator to replace any competitive standby generator that you have now, and Kohler will give you a $1,000 rebate. That's right, trade in any non-Kohler standby generator for a new Kohler standby generator and get $1,000. Portable generators not eligible. Learn more at 603-746-4853. Yastrzemski Electrical Services and Emergency Power Systems of Kentucky.
That's Cody Johnson with The Painter, 8:33. It's a Friday. It's actually the last Friday of the month. A week from today, we'll head into the first day of May, 2026. Glad you could be with us this morning, and we'll be with you for another 25 minutes or so, heading right up until 9 o'clock news and information. Earlier this month, I had a conversation with Cottage Hospital. We'll be listening to that momentarily, but first another update on the weather as we head into the weekend. Compliments of your friends at House Wright Construction, which is located on Route 5 near the historic Newbury Common. You may be thinking about building your dream house. You might be looking at a piece of land and need to know if it would be a good building site. Perhaps it's time to renovate a bathroom or to create cabinetry for your entertainment equipment. From crafting a house that nestles in the landscape to creating a cozy kitchen fit for a chef, House Wright Construction has the professional know-how you need. House Wright offers technical expertise and old-world craftsmanship, along with the old-fashioned business values of integrity and accountability. Whether you ask them to join you as your general contractor or want to consult with them at the earliest stages of your project, since 1985, House Wright has brought a wide range of experience as a home builder in New Hampshire and Vermont. Large or small, they look at projects holistically, considering functionality and aesthetics. And they will be as dedicated to your project as you are. House Wright Construction, Main Street South, Newbury, Vermont. Online at housewright.net.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: sunshine mixed with some clouds midday and afternoon, remaining cool. Highs upper 40s and low 50s with a fresh northerly wind. Tonight, clearing and cold. Lows in the 20s. The winds will become light and variable. And Saturday, sun mixed with some afternoon clouds, a bit milder. Highs in the 50s. Sunday, variable clouds and sun, 55 to 60. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Thank you, Mark. We're in the mid-30s, heading for the upper 40s, low 50s today. Clear blue sunny skies with us right now. And there you have it. As we head into the weekend, it's the latest weather. Brought to you by House Right Construction, located on Route 5 near the historic Newbury Common. They're also online at houseright.net. It is time for another edition of Cottage on Call, and our monthly guest, of course, is Kuba Kubkowski.
Very nice, yes.
Thank you, Kuba.
Nice to be back.
It's glad to have you along here with us, and you have a guest with you this time. You
Yes.
didn't have one last month, Kuba.
No, but it was nice to have a nice one-on-one chat with you,
It was.
Steve. You know, we never get some time to just hang out together. So this month, I thought I'd bring along our CNO, Natalie Kennett. She's got lots to share about what the hospital's been doing, some updates about the plans that we have going forward, and what her role pertains on a daily basis.
Okay.
So I thought she'd come in and share a little bit more about what it's like running the clinical side of the hospital.
Right. All right. You were kind of saying at the beginning of this, it's obviously as a recording, that we need to get this done because she's got to get back to the hospital.
She's
right?
got things to do.
All
She's a busy person.
All right. Chief Nursing Officer, good morning. Good to have you along here with us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you here with us. As before we got rolling, you said you came in here years ago because you've been at Cottage how many years now?
Just about 4.5.
All right. So, Chief Nursing Officer, what's that mean? What's your role?
It's a lot of things,
Okay.
really. Chief Nursing Officer, it sounds like I am just overseeing nursing, but my role is a lot more than that. Really, I oversee all of the clinical care at the hospital, so quality of care, all of the clinical departments, making sure that we're doing all the right things for our patients, and then just the overall patient experience at Cottage.
Okay. So, were you a nurse beforehand or any of that type of stuff?
Nurse always and forever.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. So that's how you get into this position, kind of?
It is,
Because you
yeah.
kind of have to know
Yes.
the deal. All right. So, in regard to the leadership, how many are on your team? And, what's your day like, Natalie?
Oh, it's a busy day,
Oh, that-
always. So I oversee all of the nursing departments. So we have 3 nursing departments in the hospital. We have our inpatient setting, we have the emergency department, and then we have our Ray of Hope. And then I also oversee our pharmacy, quality, the surgical services, which is a nursing department, but also a little bit different because that's the operating room, food and nutrition, community relations here with Kuba.
Wow.
And our med staff credentialing.
Okay.
You see what I mean now.
So do you ever like go home? It sounds like a busy day.
It sure is.
All right. Things you enjoy most about the position, maybe.
Oh, I just love my team.
Okay.
I love being able to work with such an enthusiastic group of leaders and nurses and providers and just people who are so passionate about their jobs and doing the right things. So.
Yeah. Seems like Cottage Hospital, we're going to talk about renovations, has been through a lot of them in the last few years.
Yeah, well, it's the building itself was built, in the 60s. So we want to make sure to keep up with the times. And I think the most important thing, as I'm sure Natalie will mention, is making sure that the patients have the best quality care here locally and close to home.
Sure. So as I understand, the Med-Surg unit had an update in the last couple of years?
It did, yes. We did a huge renovation, which was a great project that I was very excited about.
Mhm.
It started off as an infrastructure project. We had some work that needed to be done, and through grant funding, we were able to do renovation to the whole Med-Surg unit, updating the rooms and just making them a little bit more modern.
So a lot of it must have been internal, because it didn't seem like when you drove by you saw much construction going on.
You had to go around back.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it was on the back side. We expanded out a little bit so
All
that
right.
the patient rooms could be a little bigger, but a lot of the work was on internally.
All right, next renovation going to have to go up.
Right?
No, I'm just picking it. Okay, goals of the renovation included what?
The goals of the renovation, one, it was an infrastructure just to modernize the building,
Mhm.
but also we were able to expand the patient rooms, which not only gives a better patient experience when you're in the room, but it also gives nursing the more ability to function better. When you think about nursing equipment and patient equipment, we have IV pumps and computers on wheels and the patient and the nurse, and those rooms get really small really quick.
Yeah.
So this helps us move a little bit more fluidly and provide a better experience.
If you visit our website, we have before and after photos too. I think last year when we finished the renovation, it was mentioned, but if people haven't seen it before, if you go on there, we have it listed out what's been done, what it used to look like versus what it looks like now, and it's a big difference.
So in regards to your career, Natalie, how much has changed in regard to where you are now at with that addition, that renovation?
I think it's been great to, when I think about like my career, I think this is, it's always one of those things as a leader that you get excited but also anxious about a project because everything has to go right and there's so much weighing on it, and did I pick the right paint colors?
Yeah. So was your team like part of that, or they just come in and this is the deal? I mean, how much interaction did you and your team actually have?
Absolutely. We definitely want them to be included in it and to say what's going to work. We ask a lot of questions about, what is the flow like? Let's look at your flow. If we put this here, is that going to be beneficial or is that going to be a hindrance? And certainly there were definitely lessons learned after the fact where, this is going to look great, and then you start working in it and the team goes, you know what, there's not an outlet over there.
Sure.
And you go, oh, yeah.
So you get feedback from your patients and also from your team.
Absolutely.
And what may be some of those that you could share with us?
Definitely. One thing we learned, one of the feedback we got when we originally did the paint colors was that they were not soothing. So we had to shift gears there and make them into a little bit softer colors. Some of the other feedback that we've got originally was about the outlets, but now as far as the rooms go, we've kind of tweaked to those things, and people are really loving the renovations. The rooms look really modern. They're a lot bigger. People feel more more comfortable in the environment, and it's a little bit more soothing for that healing environment.
Yeah, you always need time to kind of let things settle in,
Yes.
and then make some subtle changes.
Yes.
Right. Natalie Kennett's with us, Chief Nursing Officer, Cottage Hospital, as well as Kuba Kubkowski. All right, let's look ahead. Future updates that are happening at Cottage Hospital might include what?
Oh, I'm so excited about some things that we're working on. This year, we were able to get grant funding to get a new CT scanner. So the CT scanner is definitely one of our most important pieces of equipment in the hospital. It helps us diagnose a lot of illnesses and disease states. It's important for stroke care. It's also important in emergency. We are a level 4 trauma center, so it's so valuable for us. So we're able to buy a new CT scanner, which is going to involve some renovations. And then upcoming this year, we're gearing all of our fundraising efforts to a renovation to our OR suite.
Constant set of adjustments.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially
So
when
it makes it fun.
Yeah. What's Cottage Hospital? How many people work there, roughly?
We have about 300
I thought
employees
so.
total.
Yeah. I wanted you guys to say that, not me. I wasn't going to put myself on the limb. You guys know what's going on there. Well, so what's going to evolve in the next few years in regard to what we just talked about, Natalie?
Well, we
Patient
have
care and also for your team.
Yeah, we're in healthcare is always in flux. Everything's changing. If it's not changing, then you get suspicious about when's the shoe going to drop. So a lot about we're focusing really on the patient experience and how can we really provide our patients with the best experience in our critical access hospital, in your community hospital. So making sure that we have the most updated equipment, making sure that our environment has a flow that is conducive to healing, like the OR suite renovation, that's looking at the flow and the environment, updating our day surgery area to provide a little bit more privacy and to make it look a little bit more updated and modern.
Yeah, and in driving by, as we've said, with the last project, you'd hardly know anything was going on. So in future projects, is there anything the community should know about that might be coming up at Cottage in regard to renovations inside and outside?
Yeah, we try to keep everybody, when we're starting to do a project, keep everyone up to date. We'll put signs out and try it. Kuba's really great about updating our Facebook page and making sure that people know, what to expect. Usually when we're doing renovations, because we're kind of stuck in the footprint of the building, most of the renovations end up being on the inside, so we might have redirected flow.
Sure.
Yeah, but our maintenance team does a great job putting everything up and making sure that the appropriate amount of room is granted. So
you can't imagine the amount of work that your team is involved with. The entire team. You're talking like 300 plus people that work
Tom
there.
said that like all of his team. So Tom is our maintenance director. They do a lot of the stuff internally now. So instead of having to hire external contractors to come in and scheduling them and spending all this extra money, Now, with the med-surg renovation, they were able to get certain credentialing and experience doing some of these bigger things, so we're able to do more in-house, which is always great.
Right. This is the last Friday of the month when we do this Cottage on Call, which is brought to you by Cottage Hospital. Natalie Kennett, Chief Nursing Officer, and Kuba's with us from Cottage Hospital. So let's head into May, Nurses Week, and some of those special things that are coming up, as well as your closing statements in a few minutes in regards to other things that are happening. Natalie?
Yeah, I'm very excited. May is always a great month for me because it's Nurses Week, and I get to celebrate all the amazing nurses that I work with, and nationally, I think it's a great month to recognize that everything that nurses do and to give them a chance to.
So does Cottage Hospital celebrate in a certain way, Natalie?
Sure. We usually combine it with Hospital Week just to recognize everybody all at once. We do a lot of special events. We do, ice cream socials. We do breakfast for the team. We do lunches for the team. We do special contests and things. So, and then for Nurses Week, I usually send out cards or different gifts to the nurses just to recognize them.
Awesome. All right. How about some of the things you'd like to tell the community in regard to that? You just talked about your team, but maybe more specifically for the community for the month of May?
Absolutely. I think May is the month to take time to recognize nurses. One of the ways that is really great way to recognize a nurse that you felt impacted you is something called the Daisy Award. A Daisy Award is it's exactly a special nursing award. You can nominate online, or we have forms that you can fill out. But if you had a nurse that showed kindness, compassion, and that you felt really impacted your life or your family member's life, that's a great way to recognize them, and it's an international recognition.
Awesome. Natalie Kennett, who is the Chief Nursing Officer, spending some time with us out of her busy schedule, obviously at Cottage Hospital. Final message you might want to let your team know about, or maybe the community as we're heading into May?
Absolutely. I think for me, it's just May is this month of just celebration and recognition of nursing. So I just want to thank my team for all that they do, and know I see how hard they work, and I appreciate how much they care for our community.
Good words. Kuba.
Yes.
The month of May is going to keep you busy, along with Natalie.
Always does. Yeah, well, I mean, I do get involved and try to help out with the Nurses Week and Hospital Week. Just, as Natalie mentioned, everyone's doing a lot. So if I can help out, I try to. But yeah, May, we have our annual Any Which Way 5K coming up. So those of you listening at home, if you have not signed up yet, or if you are interested or have questions about it, the proceeds from this event will be going towards the OR suite renovation that Natalie did talk about just a few minutes ago. So if you'd like to help support, you can visit our website or any of our social media pages. You can sign up for the event right there. It'll be happening on May 17th. So right now it's looking like we're going to have a really good turnout. We did this last fall, so we're really excited. And if you can't participate, but you want to help support, we do have the ability for people to donate whatever amount they would like to, right on our website and right in the 5K sign-up page. So something that we've been working on. We want to make it easy for everybody, and we recognize sometimes people can't make it out, but they still want to support their local hospital.
Awesome. Yeah, we do this the last Friday of the month, so you'll be giving us another update at the end of May to find out how that actually went.
I'm hoping you guys will maybe come out there. We're trying to get some of the local businesses and organizations to maybe join and do a team, get some of their staff members to come out. We want to make it more of a community event, to help support something that we think is really important. And I'd like to think more and more people in the community are starting to see the same thing.
Sure. Well, you don't have to run. You can walk, right?
Exactly.
So
you can walk. You can run.
Bring a baby
You
stroller.
can jog. Hey, exactly.
Who knows?
You can skip if you want.
Yeah.
I think that would be a little bit more challenging, but yes, we don't mind.
Yeah,
so
that's good. Awesome. Then you'll give us a rundown as to what's going to be happening latter part of the summer and into the fall.
We got a lot of things planned, so July's another busy month.
Certainly.
With the parade and some of the other events we're putting together, the fair coming up later in the summer, and that takes us right into fall.
Yeah, it does in a hurry, doesn't it?
Sounds
Don't
like
say
it's
that
a ways
yet.
away, but yeah, it's kind of flying by.
Natalie, do you have any final comments as we wrap up our conversation today?
No, I think that's great. I think participating in the 5K and just take time in the month of May to celebrate nurses and recognize a nurse that has had an impact on
Thanks.
you.
Thanks for being with us today, Natalie Kennett, Chief Nursing Officer, and of course Kuba Kubkowski from Cottage.
I appreciate it, Steve. Thank you.
Okay, that's a conversation I had earlier this month with Cottage Hospital. Right now, though, it's 8:52. We're going to head to Woodsville. Say good morning to Liz Shelton. How you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
All
Beautiful
right.
morning.
It certainly is. We'll take it. Of course, at the party store and everything but the cook. So let's find out as spring has sprung finally.
It has sprung. It's been springing all month. That's for sure.
It has.
It's been a busy week. We've received a lot of new orders. The tractor trailer's been pulling up alongside us. And we just got in a pallet from Lodge Cast Iron. We also got in a pallet from La Crusade. A couple of days ago, I received a big order from a company called Herald Imports. And Herald is a gadget company, but they also do private label for King Arthur Flour. So we carry a lot of their product now. And I just got in my first order from Casa Brew espresso machines. And I'm pretty excited about that. They're like the cutest little espresso machines with lots of power. And they come in colors. They're really fun. So we're happy to have those in. And then I got in a good-sized order from Joy Susan Purses and wallets. So the purses have been restocked. And we will be having, in the next day or two, Cuisinart and Yankee Candle orders from them. And I'm talking fast because I know we're on a time crunch here. Tuxedo rentals, we're in full swing for prom. The proms start May 9th for us, and then they go right through to the middle of June. I'll just catch a breath, and then I'll be in full-blown wedding mode. So if you're in need of a suit or a tuxedo, you want to buy them, you want to rent them, we're right here. And we now do carry in stock black suits. So, feel free to contact us. I do encourage people to please make sure that you have an appointment. And it can be that you call 1 minute before you leave your house. I just want to have no one drive to the store and I'm not there because I am the only person who does the suits. And what else did I, services. We have knife sharpening. We're a dry cleaning drop-off pickup. That is about a 1 week turnaround. And then, of course, I mentioned the suits and tuxedos. Right now we're getting ready for Mother's Day, Memorial Day weekend, and graduations. And I just want to also remind our local people, if you are wanting a hero banner, the orders must be to me by the end of next week. I do have the paperwork at the store, and I'm happy to go over everything with you and help you through it. The banners go up Memorial Day weekend, and then the flowers that are usually set out around the first 10 days of June. And a huge thank you to all the local businesses in town for their contribution. It's through them that we're able to put up 50 hanging baskets and 14 whiskey barrels filled with flowers, the picnic tables. Everything is through the local businesses in our town. So I just want to say thank you to them.
Yeah. It all comes together and looks really great. And because we have a minute or so still left, Liz, asking about the 4th of July being the 250th this year, are you going to have plenty of decorations for people to purchase?
Actually, it's kind of funny, but I've already started putting out my patriotic merchandise just because it is the 250 and people are already scooping it up.
Good.
So I placed an order, I think Wednesday, so probably Monday or Tuesday I'll have more stuff come in. But I do carry, good quality bunting and home decor, and I was pretty happy with myself that I got it out ahead of time this year. So, and I'm noticing other stores doing the same.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's going to be a pretty big summer. So
certainly.
Pretty excited about it. And I talked to Gary Scruton last week, and the parade's coming along beautifully. I'll do the military lineup again this year, and I've actually had people already asking me about floats if you want to enter a float. I have the paperwork, so you can pre-register right at my store, and that way it just saves a lot of confusion on the day of the parade. So.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's great. We'll chat again in a couple of weeks as we draw closer and closer to the 4th of July. But I'm glad that we were able to connect this morning so that we can give our listeners an update. No, that's fine. We got it done.
Okay. Have a great weekend. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Liz.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There's Liz Shelton from her stores in Woodsville, the party store, and everything but the cook with her bi-weekly update. Certainly appreciate it. And thank you for being with us this morning. A busy Friday morning here at your country, WYKR. A lot of great conversation, a lot of interesting stuff that's happening in our communities, both in Vermont and New Hampshire. We'll be getting set for the top of the hour network news momentarily at WYKR Haverhill, WTWN Wells River, and W286DE Wells River at 105.1 FM. Vermont's 250th commemoration, Newbury, Resilience in Newbury, past, present, and future. Coming up this weekend, they have some Arbor Day tree planting, April 25th, Wells River with BMU, and also April 26th with activities in West Newbury in regards to planting trees. Other things that are happening, wanted to remind you of the fluffy blueberry pancakes with local maple syrup, sausage, crispy hash browns, specialty eggs to order, including omelets, Hatchland milk, tea, coffee, and juice. It's the breakfast that'll be served at the VFW Hall, Route 116 in North Haverhill this weekend. Saturday, April 25th, it'll be from 8 to 10:30, and donations will be graciously accepted. Cribbage tournament this weekend in memory of Forrest Thurston, Orangey Senior Center, Sunday, April 26th. Doors open at 12:15. Games begin at 1. As we're checking some of the things that are happening in the listening area. Also want to remind you, we talked about it earlier this morning with Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank, the Spaghetti Dinner fundraiser coming up. You can join Wells River Savings Bank for an evening of delicious food, fun, and community spirit, Saturday, May 16th, 4:30 to 7 p.m. at the Orange East Senior Center. And all proceeds will go toward helping Dom maintain his independence and meet his current medical and mobility needs. Takeouts will be available. We'll have more information on that as we draw closer to the Spaghetti Dinner fundraiser, which will be Saturday, May 16th. And that wraps up our busy morning as we head into the weekend. News and information is next, as well as updated weather for all of Northeast Vermont, Northwest New Hampshire. Enjoy the weekend.